So here we all are. We're chilling out, watching another movie. Owen just heard me start talking. He's like, "What do I got to do for the camera?" This week's video is going to be a little different. We're just going to do some talking while we look at the boys as they chill out in the living room, watching the movie with me. So last week, I don't remember the exact date. My apologies. The 7th, April 7th, 8th, 9th, somewhere in there. We had the boys, sorry, had their annual vet visit. So they got some shots, um, rabies and such. I don't remember all that they've got. I got a big invoice for them. It is not low cost to take two dogs for their yearly checkups and their yearly meds and their what's it called? Whoa, super close up of Owen here. Hi, buddy. Simparica Trio. So that takes care of heartworm, ticks. I'm sorry, I don't remember what else. Anyways, I mean, fellow dog owners will know what it is. It's given to them once a month for 6 months. 6 months, yeah. Basically, to take care of those things, heartworm and ticks, which are, I mean, ticks are nasty. Heartworm is horrible. You don't want to have a dog with heartworm. It's a terrible thing to see. And of course, it comes. You got fur there. It also happens to be full on shedding season. So I'm probably going to do a video of a brushing and a blowout of somebody here. Oh, and couch wrestling. Couch wrestling live. So going to do a brushing and a blowout video probably because the fur is flying. Biscuit's nose, if you remember from Biscuit's introduction video, Biscuit has hyperkeratosis. And his nose is looking really rough. So we have to do what's called big Owen stretch. We're going to do some what's called nose butter, which it's just coconut oil, but we call it nose butter because it's a cute name for it. It's an excellent way to treat hyperkeratosis. Fortunately, Biscuit only has it on his nose. He doesn't have it on his paws. Dogs that do have hyperkeratosis can have it on their nose and their paws. It presents as usually growths. They don't hurt. They do look weird. They can grow rather large if they're unchecked, and if you don't treat, you can get actual medicine for it. But coconut oil is the same treatment, and coconut oil is like, I don't know, $4 for a huge jar, or maybe it's $6. I don't know. It's rather cheap to treat. Doing a daily treatment of coconut oil. The jar has lasted almost a year now, and it's only half done. So it's an extremely low cost way to treat it. Anyways, so other than Biscuit's hyperkeratosis on his nose, they both had an excellent bill of health. Owen, he was 9 months old when we got him. He's now 2 years and 5 months old. Yeah, about that. So he's obviously gained some weight. He's still thin. In the story, you can only see the back of his head. They're kind of playing bitey face, and I can't get a good camera angle on them. But anyways, so they're both in fantastic health. Their teeth are great. Their ears were great. Owen is, he's gained weight, of course, because he's still grown. He's almost fully grown now, so he's at his mostly his target weight. He's not heavy. He's not light. He's he's just right. Um, Biscuit. Biscuit's another story. Over the last year, Biscuit has plateaued in his weight loss. Then he gained about 2 pounds. Then he lost. Then he gained a little bit, and then he lost. We had a food change in there to a different brand of food, which was about maybe 6 months ago. No, it was just before Christmas, right? So yeah, just 4 or 5 months ago. So we had a food change in there. The food change, of course, even though you know how many calories are in a cup of dog food or half a cup or whatever, it still takes some adjustments to get the right amount for his needs plus weight loss. So he is on a diet dog food. It's rather expensive, but he's worth it. So in the last year, he's lost only approximately a half a pound. Even though he's gone up, he's gone down, stayed the same at some points. He gets weighed every time we go buy dog food. And dog food lasts 6-7 weeks or so. So he gets his weight done every single time. And he's been bouncing around. So his last weighing, between his last food and then his vet visit, which coincidentally timed out for when we needed to buy food, was he had lost approximately half a pound. So hopefully that means we're on the right volume of food. Plus, they're your pets, right? You want to give them treats. So you have to include the treats that you give them as calories, and you need to reduce the food equivalent to make up for the treats that you give, right? So if you give no treats, you can give the full amount of food. If you do give treats, depending on what you want to give, you need to reduce the food volume. And then if you give them people food when you eat, so let's say breakfast, lunch, dinner, or just dinner, or you just let them lick the plate. Everything has calories. So you've got to deduct that from the. Let's get an Owen close up here. You've got to deduct that from the food. So I believe we finally gotten a correct volume of food for the treats they get. They don't get a lot, but they do get some, and then they do get some people food from supper. For breakfast, if I have toast, they get a little corner of the bread. It's maybe 20 calories, 25, but it still adds up. And when you're only doing calorie reduction for weight loss, because we haven't changed his activity levels in 2.5 years. We still walk 3 times a day, right? So he's still getting that activity, the same activity. It's good activity, but there's no additional weight loss activity. So we have to reduce the calories by food. So everything has to be counted, minutely. More couch wrestling, more bitey face. Saying that, we believe we're on the right track again with weight loss. Owen's a very happy puppy. He's wanting a close-up and his tail wagging going on. So that's Biscuit's story. And then on my story, the Friday before their doctor's appointment, I got a phone call from my cardiologist, a follow-up. And I'm happy to say I had what's called a nuclear test, which is where they inject you with radioactive material, and they do a rest test, and they measure the blood flow through your heart, and then the next day they do an exercise test. So I had to get on a treadmill. Well, there's two ways they can do it. They can give you an injection that'll increase your heart rate, or you can go on a treadmill and get up to a target heart rate. My target heart rate was 141. Kind of old, so it took me a couple minutes to get there. But yeah, we got up to the 141. They give you that injection, and then the radioactive material in it attaches itself to your muscles, and they can see how well you're performing in this scan thing they do. Anyways, I have no blockages. The flow is all good, so that's really good news for me. I'm older. I do have diabetes, type 2. I did not treat my body well when I was younger, so hearing good news, other than diabetes is terrible, let me tell you. I have some complications from diabetes, but we won't get into that today. But yeah, diabetes is a horrible disease. Other than that, my health is good. I've had kidney tests, kidney, bladder. There was a concern there about something. Everything's fine. It was a minor fix. Then the heart check. So yeah, I'm. Oh goodness, really, boys? That innocent look from Bisquit, like, what did we do? The recent health checks are all good for me. So hopefully that means I'll be around for quite a while to be with these beautiful boys. Biscuit's already, we've discussed it. Not a lot. I don't really want to. But Biscuit lost his mom, my wife, Claudia. And that was really hard on Biscuit. If you've never seen it, dogs can get depressed. And Biscuit was definitely depressed, which was a horrible thing to see. So, we're doing good health-wise. Owen is trying to sniff up on top of the stove to see what's there. There's nothing there. So we're just watching Biscuit while we're talking. Oh, here comes Owen again. Disappointed from his travels to the stove that there was no food to smell. And that's about it for the health updates. Everything's continuing on as we usually do. Today being Sunday, we went for a walk in the park. The park is definitely coming alive. It's a different crowd than in winter. Winter, there's, skaters and cross-country skiing. Summer, you're not skating and you're not cross-country skiing. You got a lot more joggers, people walking their dogs, recreation, whatever you might do in the park. There's football/soccer field. There's pavilions for that you can rent for parties and such. So definitely a different crowd. And the garden will be starting soon, and of course I'll show you that because it's just a beautiful place to go. Anyways, these guys are moving. Hopefully I've got them on the camera still. Yep, just the way I'm holding it, it's a bit weird. So pretty soon we're going to start on a project, and I'm going to be showing you a little bit more of life. You can see there's a whole bunch of 3D printers here. In fact, you can see, whoa, Owen's in the belly. There's 3 3D printers here. So that's a Creality K1. That's a CR30. That the red one is Halot 1 Pro, and then the orange one beside it that you can barely see, that's a UW01. Yeah, I know it's the old one, but that's what I've got. In another room, there is another K1. There are 3 S1 Pros. What else? 3 S1 Pros, the K1. Oh, and 2 more Halot 1 Pros. I might be letting 2, maybe 3 of these printers go, just because I don't have enough need for them. At one point I did, I don't now. Um, or they're just going to get put in a closet until they might be needed in the future. But yeah, we're going to be doing something with these printers, along with I've got 2 lasers. What are the lasers? Let's see if I can remember. A CV01 Pro, which is it's a rather small laser. It's a Creality laser. Um, uh, I'm trying to remember the other one. CR Laser Falcon is the other one, 10 watt. And then technically, I do have a laser module for one of the S1s if I wanted to put it on. I want it for free, but I just haven't used it at all. Yeah, so obviously, with all these printers, you're like, what are you doing? So I have a 3D printing business. Again, nobody really knows that because I haven't spoken about it before. You may have seen the printers, but I've never explained it. So I'm going to be making a room. Now, where this room is going to be, I'm not entirely sure. Owen, don't do that, buddy. I'll if your nails are bothering you, I'll cut them. Yes, I will. I'm going to be making a room for them, so they can all be in one, or not all, but almost all in one place. I do need something close to me for testing. So probably one of the K1s will be will stay by my desk. I have one right by my desk right now. It'll probably stay there for testing purposes. But yeah, everything else will probably go into a room. And then, of course, we do also have the treat business, which there's been mentions of the treat business here in the past. These boys are technically official spokes dogs for the treat business. It's really been the treat business has been on the back burner since I started doing the 3D printing. We really need to get into that. So I have 2 commercial dehydrators. And I'm going to be, yes, I don't go small. I've got 2 commercial dehydrators plus a whole bunch of cooking equipment to do the treats. A lot of our treats are all dehydrated, single ingredient stuff. So that's the majority of the things we do. I need to build a cabinet for the 2 of them. I have one of them up and running. The other one is just sitting. I know it's a terrible waste to have a machine like that sitting there doing nothing. But yeah, we're going to be getting some things going like that now that it's springtime. We can get outside a bit more comfortably. Meaning it's not minus 30 and we don't have to heat the garage for 3 hours just for it to be warm enough to work decently. We can take things out in the sun. Right now, I mean, it's still cold in the garage, right? But we could bring things out into the yard and cut them up and such to make cabinets that we need. I'm not an expert, so nobody laugh when you see what I make. I'm going to try and make it, of course, as nice as I can. But again, I'm no expert. I'm building for function, not for glamour. This is just I'm making these things just so I can use these products instead of just having them sit and do nothing. So there will be some updates with that. I'll do some recording as best I can. It's kind of hard to record stuff when you're using saws and such, especially if you want to keep your fingers. And when you're using table saws and circular saws and such. So I might just have to wear the head camera for that. Yeah. So we'll get some more videos of the dogs. Of course, there's a lot more on the way. I have 5 or 6 videos already made. I've got probably 50 or 60 old videos, almost all of Bisquit only. These are videos that we did before Owen came into our life. Um, so I've got to get those up at some point. So we'll probably start Retro Wednesday again. Um, uh, just to get those videos posted. It's a good way to store the videos. I have them all on a separate hard drive from my computer, so I won't lose them. But we've got to get those up. There are, of course, the regular weekly videos that we do. I've already got quite a number of those up. Or sorry, quite a number of those ready to go. I haven't posted them yet. All videos require a little bit of editing. At the beginning, the end, sometimes in the middle, and then you want to add the old. Well, actually, for us, it's new. The subscribe, notify, ring the bell thing. I've only started adding those to our videos, and of course, that's technically another business. We don't have a lot of subscribers. I'd like to get more. I've only ever put videos up as what's the word? I've only ever put them up as like kind of a hobby, something to do, something to share my beautiful boys with, or well, originally, our original beautiful boy with his beautiful mascara, eyeliner, beautiful eyeliner. Uh, he's got perfect eyeliner. If you've never noticed, yeah. And then from here, you can look at Owen. He's actually got beautiful little eyelashes. So, anyways, they all started out as videos of Bisquit. There's videos of Bisquit and me. Maybe some of Biscuit's friends. I'm not sure if there is any left. I mostly posted those. So those will be going up as Retro Wednesday. I've got to find time to edit those and put them up. Remember, you got to watch all the videos, see if there's anything that has to be fixed, and then edit them. You're going to edit them anyways to put in that overlay of the subscribe, notify thing. Yeah, so it all takes time, right? And time is so hard to get. I mean, I try and spend time with these boys, playing, grooming. Later today, we're going to be making that video of brushing and blowing out. Grooming, right? It's that time of the year. There is hair everywhere, and it's getting really bad. The robotic vacuum is just going crazy with vacuuming things up. And even beyond that, I have to walk around with a hand vacuum to get places that robotic vacuum can't. So, yeah, we've got to stay on top of that. Otherwise, the house gets covered in hair. So more videos, more stuff, different stuff, and I hope everybody likes the different stuff. And I also want to get longer videos. I know most of our videos they're mostly in the moment. They're yeah, we're walking and Biscuit's doing something silly in the snow, so I'm going to record it. Well, he only does the something silly for 30 seconds and the video's over. Those are the moments that I want to share because those are real. Reality is this is a lot of what dogs do during the day. Is they're chilling out, right? They're laying down, unless they're doing something with you. I hope to go. I don't know what time it's going to be like, and the worst part is sorry, I'm getting ahead of my words are getting ahead of the story. I'd like to go camping. Camping alone is kind of boring. I have my boys; they're lovely, but it's nice to have somebody else to talk to, right? I work my regular job. I work Tuesday to Saturday, so most people will want to go Friday and Saturday night. I work Saturday till 7 p.m. I could rush out somewhere close to go camping for Saturday night and Sunday night. But the reality is it's probably easier to go out Sunday morning and just stay the one night. So I'm hoping that I can get a Saturday off. But again, the problem arises even if I take Saturday off, I still work Friday till 7:30. Um, so I would be late. Now, somebody else, if I'm going with somebody else, they'd probably already be out there and have their site set up. But I could be out, by 8:30, 9 o'clock. Yeah, basically you're getting there. You're getting ready for a fire for an hour or two. Have something to eat and go to bed. But you've got all day Saturday and then Sunday till my checkout time is what 11 o'clock usually. I don't remember. Um, and of course we could, if we opted to stay the Sunday night as well. Um, so we'll see what happens with that. If we can go camping, I'd really like it. It's not going to be anything super special or exciting, but it's something different for these boys, and of course for you if you've never been these places, you'd be able to see them. Of course, almost all campsites are beautiful, but it's nice seeing different ones. There's different features, there's different things, different layouts, different people, right? So yeah, that's plans. That's our health. Um, that's our business. So when I tell you, unfortunately, I'm busy. Yeah, we have a full time, and you know what? I do this every week. By the way, you've heard me talk a couple times about us watching a movie. Um, we need to stop and take some time for ourselves. Just sit here and do nothing. Um, well, not do nothing. Watch a movie, but it's an hour and a half or up to 2.5 hours of daytime relaxation, which we almost never do. Right? I'm working on the computer. I'm working in the garage. I'm working in the back room where the printers are. Um, the lasers outside because of the smoke it can make. The printers are in the back room, the dehydrators in the back room, or I'm baking in the kitchen. Doing something there for treats, or never mind, just baking for us because I sometimes make lunches in advance for a week or two. So I'll do a whole bunch of cooking, um, uh, cool it down, freeze it, so that lunches are super easy. Because during my work lunch, I take these boys out for a walk. They get there's the beautiful boy. Um, that's how we get our 3 walks a day, right? Morning, my work lunch, and then after work. Um, so their exercise is super important, but it's also my exercise. So yeah, so that I don't take up time. Now remember, I have said I'm diabetic, so I don't eat most of the time. I don't eat bread. I might have a piece, 2 pieces of toast for breakfast or so. Um, but toast is not good for diabetics. It's bread. Carbohydrates get turned into sugar by the body. Sugar, of course, is bad for diabetics. Um, yeah, so, anyways, I make lunches ahead of time most of the time. I'll do soup or a chili, or I've actually made um, meatloaf and veggies. And cut the meatloaf up and put them into different containers, and then you can switch your lunches each day, right? Instead of just having junk. I don't eat much from cans, unless it's again single ingredients. These boys get pumpkin out of cans, but it's just straight pumpkin, right? But we're talking about soup from a can. Terrible for you. The amount of salt in there is just horrendous. Things like oh, I love beans, but beans has so much sugar in it. Chef Boyardee, salt and sugar. There's so much stuff that I try not to eat because of the diabetes, because of my trying to be healthy, right? Low salt, low sugar, or low salt, almost no sugar. Um, it gets difficult. So I try and plan ahead so that I can make lunches, so that I can have something good to eat, rather than say, well, there's nothing there, I have to eat, I have no time, so let's have bread, right? Sandwich, so easy to make. but so not good to have. So yeah, there's wow, look at all this information that everybody's getting here just from sitting here talking and looking at some doggies that are doing their best to have their nap, and I'm disturbing them by talking them. So I'm sorry if I talk too much, but if I didn't talk enough, I apologize. You know, you can always leave comments and tell me what you want to know, what you want to hear, what you want to see. Um, I realize that this is typically a very different YouTube channel than other dog channels. Other dog channels typically show the family um, and what they do with the dogs. This channel, until now, I basically only shown the dogs. I haven't really said anything about me. Um, you've learned a couple things over the years about me, but not a heck of a lot. So today has been a revelation. So hopefully from here we can just grow and get more subscribers and do more things. Um, and yeah, just be awesome. So anyways, I'm gonna let you go. And you know, it's something I say at work all the time, and I'm gonna start closing our videos here with it. You know, if possible. Just because of as we discussed on this video and others, you know, my wife passed away from cancer. By the way, it was from cancer. It's something I say at work all the time. Um, take a selfie with somebody you love today, because they may not be there tomorrow, and it's important. We didn't have enough selfies. I have lots of pictures of her. Don't misunderstand. I have lots of pictures of her. She has lots of pictures of me, but we don't have enough together. We have some, and they're very precious. But I would have loved to have more. So yeah, I'll let you go. Take a selfie with somebody you love, and we'll see you next time.